Welcome to Gibby Works. A man, a son, still absent, and some wrenches. So I'm back on the Lego project. Well, I haven't really left. I mean, I've been constantly printing parts, making some adjustments. So back to it. I've got enough to kind of get us about to the next point, and then so I wanted to get this together so these things aren't really long. Just watching me glue things together like that. But I've got the engines printed and kind of together, so we're gonna go to that part. So welcome, let's go for a ride. Hi, future editor Dan here. Found out after I had done recording, got everything glued together to this point, that my microphone, when walking into the house out of the garage, disconnects and does not reconnect. So I did all the filming without audio. So I ended up speeding up most of the video just because the explanations I were doing kind of lost. Doesn't make a lot of sense unless it was during the time. So I'm going to do some voiceover, which I've never done before, so hopefully I get this right. And then, we'll go from there. But like I said, it makes it a really short video, but still wanted to get it out and show you this progress on the A-Wing. So thanks for coming along, and we'll get this.
Okay, so this is kind of where we got to last time. We actually got to, there's a little black wedge, so here's the new one. So this one didn't sit down flat, it sat up proud, so it didn't look right. So I found out that this wedge needed these little cutouts here, so that allows the studs to sit up in there. So now, like that, it sits flush and looks much better. Great, so let's go ahead, let's get this thing glued up. Now, so there's the engine. So the engine, these pieces, they had to be printed in 3 different parts. So the 3 middle part and the 2 sides, so I did the dovetail method again to give it a place to kind of index it off of and to slide in there. So, because I didn't have a printer big enough to do all this in one piece. That would have been nice, but I didn't have that. So I had to do it in the 3 pieces. So I've got, and here is the other side. So this is kind of fun because the printer ran out of red and then just shifted to black. So it's multicolored, but true to a Rebel craft, it is multicolored. Sometimes parts don't exactly match. So let's go ahead and get the engine, the thrust part glued in here. So now these back parts are kind of interesting. So as you see here, it was able to print as one, but it kind of left a rough edge right there. So wish I could have done that differently, but so now let's just go ahead and find. So I got the landing skids, all the parts for the landing skids printed out. So that's all these parts here. So let's go ahead and put these together. So they're duplicates, both sides are the same, so let's go ahead and get these glued up. And now the other side. So now this sits on the bottom, just on this longer plate. So at first, got that together, but then after I'm like, that's not going to work as well. So just glue hadn't dried yet, so pulled those plates off as we raised the landing gear, and then just glue them on here. So front, yep. Oh, pilot took a spill. But there, now so landing gear's there, and we can go on and get the back little engine. I don't know if this is the engine, but that's what I started calling it. So, but we'll get this little part put together. Now, these parts are kind of cool. I printed them as one part, but kind of luckily, I think I printed enough that I don't have to print any more of those again. We'll see. That may be different, but you know. But here's that this rear portion goes right in there. And did I miss a part? Nope. Okay, yeah, right here. So I got this long piece that goes in there. Okay, now let's get the engines. So the additional parts in the engines put in here, and then we'll get the engines put on. And this is where you need to kind of just pay attention to what you're doing, because I tried to put this on that side, but nope, it needs to go on the other side. So that means these bottom pieces, I put them in backwards. They're on the wrong side. So luckily, glue hadn't dried, so, but these are tight, so I actually needed a little bit of help getting them in, so got them in there. Got it pressed down and get the glue dried. So I do have the second yellow disc that goes on the engine that I'm putting on now, but it just came off while I was doing this. I just hadn't put it back on, but I do have it on, and will be in the final one. So just getting the last couple parts of the engine in here. And that should be ready to go. So okay, now there's just these last couple wedges here. These white wedges kind of gives the support to the upper wing portion. So get that, and here's some more of the bottom superstructure, you could say. But these support the upper wings. They give the big bulk of that. So this little piece right here that I pointed out it was a piece that didn't get printed all the way, but luckily it's good enough that it can kind of hold as a brace for the gluing. So there we go. Now we're got the pilot in. That's about where he's going to sit.
Okay, so we're at this stage. So this, I think, well, it's got to be a good place to stop because I don't have any more parts to put together. So a couple more adjustments that I've made after that last little step. So this is where I'm at. Continue to keep going. I can only print a couple parts a week just due to the access I have. But I'll keep going. Everything's modeled, so I just have to make little adjustments like I did on this guy. So we'll keep going. Appreciate you coming along. This is Gibby Works, a man, his absent son, some wrenches, 3D printer, and soon an A-wing. Thanks for coming. Whoops.